It was the height of the summer, and tourists flocked to the Little Western every day of the week, and goods contracts built up from every station. Oliver, the great Western engine, was feeling rushed off his wheels, but not Duck.
I wish I was having my overhaul as well. This weather's giving me an ache in my smoke box.
I'm sorry, Oliver, but you're not the one who's passed the boiler ticket, you know. Besides, when did it break anyways? It's important running a branch line, you know.
Yes, I do know. I've been the one working on it.
I think you'll be forgetting us. We've been working on it as well, you know. You two get to haul the passengers, whilst Dougie and I are stuck with the screaming trucks all day.
Oh, you're exaggerating. Those trucks don't scream, they're just bored of being stuck in the yard all day.
You didn't understand, Doc. There's this one truck whose axle boxes haven't been oiled, and it screams along the line whenever it moves.
You'll survive. Edward will be here to take me to the works. You lot will look after the branch line while I'm gone. You know the procedure. The Great Western Way.
We've heard it enough times, Duck. I think we get it now.
With a little hint from the Caledonian way, eh, Donell?
I'd be careful if I was you. This branch line isn't as easy to run as you think.
Ah, please. If two little tank engines can do it, then two tender engines will manage fine.
That's exactly it. 2 tank engines can run because these 2 tank engines can shunt easier and don't have to run around at stations or use turntables.
And you also don't have a lot of coal and water. Don't know why I'll be fine. What can go wrong?
Suit yourselves. I'll give him a fortnight.
That's a bit generous, Duck. 9 or 10 days at most.
Edward.
Hello, Duck. Time to get you to the works. Meanwhile, on the branch line, it was back to work as usual. The twins handled the goods with ease, as well as helping Oliver with the passengers.
Shouldn't we speed up a bit, Mr. Douglas? You don't want to be late. This shipment needs to be at Tidmouth Harbour in the hour.
Ah, relax, Toad. We have plenty of time. Just get back to your singing and we'll be there before you know it.
I smell trouble. These engines are talking less carefully about their work than they should be.
Toad was right. Donald and Douglas were finding life on the branch line easy work, and took advantage of Duck not being around to teach him the proper ways of doing things. This is where things got complicated for the twins.
Alsburg, last stop. Change here for the Arrowsdale Railway.
Oliver's train waited here for a while, before heading back to the big station. The driver, who was in Isabel's cab, went off to the toilets, whilst the fireman went to buy a snack from the station cafe. Neither noticed the visitors beside the train. Look, they made a play area on the train so you could pretend you're driving it yourself. They were looking at Isabel the auto coach's cab, which to them didn't look like the controls of Oliver at all. They didn't know these controls linked up to the ones in Oliver's cab, so the driver controlled the engine from the coach to save time running around the train.
Hey? What's happening? We shouldn't be moving, stop!
The driver and fireman had no idea what was happening until they heard Oliver's whistle. But by then,
Uh-oh.
it was too late.
This isn't good.
Disaster lay ahead.
This should not be happening. Oh, no, 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 no! Ah, that's gonna leave a dent.
It took some time to sort out the mess. When Oliver was back on the rails, he was unserviceable. He wasn't too badly damaged, but needed a thorough inspection to be sure.
Oh boy, with me out of action, you two won't be able to manage the line on your own.
Nonsense! Clearly I haven't seen the Caledonian ways of doing things. Oliver wasn't so sure. Soon, Edward arrived to take Oliver to the works. Oh dear. First Duck, now you, Oliver. Never mind. Let's get you to the works.
Afternoon, Duck. I can explain.
Apparently, the Caledonian way of doing things wasn't enough to run the whole branch line. They didn't admit it, but the twins began to struggle. Toad watched with interest as they hurried hauling passengers and goods, and sometimes both in one.
I told them things like this would happen, but did they listen? Of course not. Nobody ever listens to wise old Toad.
Next morning, Douglas returned to the yard after dropping off his coaches. What's now, driver?
Trucks, I'm afraid. The screen trucks too.
I'll try bumping into it. Maybe that'll stop his axle boxes squealing so much. The guard was ready for the journey. There was a small stone in the brake van, and he had left this to have a cup of tea. He then jumped down to get the red and green flags. Douglas came up to the train with a big bump. The brake van shunted backwards. Then there was trouble.
No, I don't think that's gone with a squeak, Douglas. I'll just go get some oil from the lamp shed.
Mr. Douglas, I think... Uh-oh. Mr. Douglas? Hello? Oh dear.
Oh, glory, look at that! What's happened here?
For crying out loud, I just wanted some tea.
Never mind that, go call 999. I'll go get some water or something.
Oh dear.
The driver eased Douglas clear, and then he used sand from the sandboxes to tackle the flames. It wasn't long before the fire department arrived and put the rest of the fire out.
You know what, next time I'll make coffee. I think I'll like coffee more.
You don't have a good history with brake vans, do you, Douglas?
I'm just glad it wasn't me. That could have been worse for all of us.
The fire incident caused several delays, which were, to say the least, could have been done without. The twins were beginning to realize that they had overestimated the workload they had without Duck or Oliver to help them. We can't afford any more delays today. Right, I better get my goods ready. No fires though. Donald was in a rush and wasn't really paying attention. He shunted his coaches with another sitting in the yard and put them all in the same siding. This would have been fine if he wasn't in such a hurry. The guard had to go along the train, applying the brakes manually to each of the coaches. He had just put on the brakes in the first coach when Donald moved off. The coaches began to move. The guard quickly ran down the corridor to apply the brakes on the other coaches, but the others didn't have a corridor. It was too late to jump down, so there was nothing he could do.
Why does this happen?
It's nice to have a rest while we wait for the signalman to change the points.
Look out!
Okay, break over. Donald steamed forward just in time to avoid colliding with the runaway coaches, just as Douglas chopped into the station approach. Whoa, 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 what's happening? Ah! Mix driver, quickly! Bust my buffers!
Well, that escalated quickly.
Luckily, no one was hurt, but the coaches were damaged, Douglas was off the rails, and Donald was trapped in the yard. They were going nowhere anytime soon.
Don't worry, you two. At least you can have a rest now. The next train is light engine. He's coming around the corner now. He'll sort this out.
Light engine? Who could that be?
Afternoon, you two. So, why are we here? Toad, what happened?
Well, Mr. Oliver, sir, it's quite a story. Mr. Douglas was trying so hard to do things his own way, he got behind on his work. They've both made mistakes while you and Mr. Duck were gone, and now they're in a right mess, as you can see.
Would you look at that? It's almost as if the Caledonian way wasn't good enough. There's a moral to be learnt here, isn't there, Toad?
Don't get behind on your work and focus on what you're doing?
Well, I was thinking, don't mess up a perfectly good system. Duck may brag about the Great Western, but apparently it's the right way to do things. Come on, let's get you back on the tracks. We got a timetable to catch up on.
Both of the twins felt very embarrassed as their errors were sorted out. They got straight back to doing things how they were supposed to do, not how they thought they were supposed to do. Things ran like clockwork for the next few months, until at last, Duck returned to the branch line from his overhaul.
It's good to be back, though I saw some strange things in the works. They're expecting to see you there for starters, Oliver. Then there was this brake van, burnt to flames, and these coaches, I swear I've seen them before. Can't picture where, though. Anyways, anything new happened whilst I was gone?
Well, the Arsdale Railway's in a bit of a state at the moment. Their landlord's visiting them, and he doesn't sound like a nice chap, that is all I can say. Other than that, you'll never guess what Don and Douglas have been up to.
They've been really youthful, Mr. Duck. They finally learnt how to do things the Great Western way. They made sure the branch line ran as efficiently as possible, Mr. Duck.
Is that right, Toad? I never thought I'd hear that. Two patriotic Scottish engines taking advice from Great Western engines. I'm impressed. Though you'd be surprised. I was speaking to Ebert on the way to the works. He said those two argue like brothers sometimes. I guess two wrongs don't make a right. Oliver?
Yeah?
What's that empty truck doing over there?
Being empty?
You know it should be under the palace chute.
Oh, come on, the yard doesn't have to be that perfect.
There are only two ways of doing things, Oliver. I know you're young and you don't understand this so much, but...
Don't understand? How could I not understand with you constantly annoying everyone with your orders?
Orders? I'm just trying to run my branch line properly.
Your branch?
Well, this is
After all
my
these
branch
years
line,
I've worked
and I'm not
here,
going to
it's
let you
not
and your
just you who's been
incompetency
working here.
change
I think
that.
Mr. Duck and Mr. Oliver should shut their western mouths.